Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss how you can use your digital multimeter at home, in office for repair, or to check your electrical voltage or values on your socket and all that. So it's actually very simple to use it. The main things for you to understand different electronic components and their values and how they work. So it's not about whether something is wrong or right. Multimeter is about what you expected. So if what you expected is not what you see, then you now know that that thing probably is faulty or something like that. So this is the point. So in this unit you have this a multimeter here. At this point you can use this place to read two values, to read continuity and diode mode. Then you can see between this place and this place, you can see the ohm sign. You can use it to read resistor. You use it to read the resistance of of a circuit or of a substance, like a metal substance or whatever. You can use it to read resistance between here and here. And as you can see here, you see this sign. This is the sign of a DC voltage. You see one line here and you see a dot here. This is ranging from 200 millivolts to 1000 volts DC voltage. You can use this place to read it. As well, you can see the sign for AC voltage. You can see the alternating sign there. So within the range of 200 millivolt AC as well to 700 volts, you can use this place to read it. And you can use this unit to also read capacitor. You can see the unit of our capacitor is in farads. You can use it to read. So here you can use it to read AC current as well, and you can see within the range of 2 millicurrent to 20 amps. You can use it to read your current. That is, probably you must have connected your multimeter in serial mode for you to be able to read your current with this multimeter. So, and at this point you can use it to read your transistors, and you can use this slot your transistors here, and you'll be able to read the value. And this is how it works. So in essence, to go a little bit further, if you want to read your continuity, to know that two things are electrically connected together, you can connect your meter to this point. As you can see, if I touch my probe right now, it's beeping. That means this thing is connected together. So for you to get that continuity test, just connect your meter here. Then if you want to read a resistor, the thing is in ranges. Like now you see 200 milliamps here. At 200 ohms here. So now anything you are reading from 1 ohm or milliohms to this point, you set it to this point. Then anything that's more than 200, between 200 ohms to 2 kilo, that's 2000 ohms, you set it to 2 kilo. Anything from 2 kilo to 20 kilo, you set it to 20 kilo. So this is how this thing works. Likewise to this place, to this place, to this place. So within the range of what you want to read is where you set your multimeter to. So for instance, we're going to elaborate more on this topic some other time, but today let me just briefly tell you how you can read your voltage, maybe on your laptop charger and your socket and all that. Know that we have two major voltage. We have DC voltage and AC voltage. So, and that is what actually matter. So to a lot of people out there. So if you are not a technician, you may like to just test your house appliances and all that. So now, when your DC is using something like 12 volt DC, or when you check your device, you are going to see the label. Maybe it's using like 12 volt DC and all that. So you can use your meter. What you just do is just to switch this. This is a calibrated stuff. So you just move this edge. You can see this pointed. That's a pointed this thing here, edge here. So you just switch it. For instance, if you are reading something that is less than 200 millivolt DC, you set it on max, which is 200 millivolts as your DC. Don't forget that. So that your meter will be protected. And if you are reading something that is above 200 millivolts, between that and 2 volts, you set it on 2 volt max. Maybe you are trying to read 1 volt now. you have to set it on 2 volts so that your meter can be protected. And if you are working on like laptop phones and all that that's above 1 volt, that is you have like 3 volts, 5 volts and all that, you need to set it on 20 volt. Like some case of laptop charger, you have like 15 volts, 18.5 volt, 19 volt and even 20 volts. You need to set it on 20 volt max, so that even if you are reading 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, your meter will be at the safer side. But if you have 2 volts and you set it on 1 volt, you may likely going to damage your meter. So for the sake of your meter, it's always good you set it above the actual range which you want to read, and your digital multimeter will be able to read the exact value and tell you. Likewise, when you are reading a voltage between the range of 20 DC voltage and 200 DC voltage, you switch your multimeter to the max, which is 200 voltage. So even if you read 100 voltage, 150 voltage, none of your business. This will protect your multimeter. And if the voltage is above 200 volt DC, what you should actually do is to put it on max, the 1000 DC voltage. Like in the case of maybe you are fixing a laptop charger or a device now, and after the capacitor you are trying to check the voltage across your capacitor, what you should actually do, you have to put it on 1000 DC volts, because actually across that point the capacitor must have boosted your input voltage, and the voltage will rise maybe to around 300 volts or 200 or something like that, depending on your the voltage standard in your country. So this is how that works. The same thing actually applies to AC voltage as well. You can see the alternating sign. Now DC voltage stop here. So if you want to read your AC voltage, maybe in your socket in the house, in your extension now, you want to check whether there's voltage in your extension or your AC plug now. Don't make the mistake of plugging your multimeter to this DC range. If you plug it here, your meter will just burn once and for all. So what you do is to switch it. This is your AC sign, and you can see that it's between, the max is 750 volt. Like right now I'm in Nigeria, we have the max voltage of 220 volts. So your country can be different, maybe like US or UK, some places like 110 and all that, but our own here we have 250 220 max in Nigeria. So now in such a case, you take it like 750 volt. That's enough to protect your meter. And even if you are reading anything less than 200 100 volts and all that, this will be able to make your meter to be on a safer side. So the same formula apply. If you are reading something that maybe like 1 volt or something like that, you send it to 2 volts so that your meter will be safe, you still get the right value. If you are reading like 10 volts, you can just set your meter to like 20 volts. Will not be on meter. But don't forget what I just said. I said this is AC and this is DC. So make sure you don't interchange these knobs here. If you set it wrongly, your meter is going to blow up. So I think you've learned something. So it's very easier for you. All you need to do. And another thing I'll tell you, that when you set your multimeter to DC, you have to obey polarity, because at this point everything is polarized. If you interchange your probe, definitely if the voltage is high, it may cause a lot of damages to your multimeter or to the circuit you are trying to read. So it's very necessary you know that once you connect something, you are using you are reading a DC voltage, there's plus and minus, there's negative and there's positive at that point in time, and you must understand your polarity very well. So if you have your meter cable, you see like you have red. In this case you have red probe, you have red for positive and negative. So if you are connecting it to any device, you must be like this. If this is plus, this is minus, you have to make sure that you obey the polarity and plug it exactly like this. Otherwise you blow your multimeter up and you will not get the right thing. But when you go to AC doesn't have polarity. There's no positive and negative when you are trying to read your AC. So if you are in your home or anywhere and you want to check your AC input, you don't need to obey any polarity or whatever. All you need to do is to set to the range of voltage you are trying to say, but make sure it's above the exact voltage, and just plug it to the 2 terminal of your devices. you are going to get your reading out there. So please, I think you have learned a lot, and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and subsequently you will come up with more details. Thank you very much.